What is up, Gorilla Nation, and welcome back to another Division 2 build video. But if you would be so kind, please show some love to that like button, smash that sub button if you happen to be new to the channel, and don't forget to reach up there, trigger the bell, and turn on post notifications, so that way you never miss a live stream or a video that is uploaded. Well, first and foremost, this is a real banger, not your typical sticky bomb, mortar turret, explosive, go boom boom build like most people use because they'll run like the four-piece hardwired, but yet they miss out on some damage. Well, I am here to get the record straight and get the most bang for your buck. And without further ado, I'm going to send you over to some gameplay, and then we're going to come back and hop into the build. So we'll see you guys and gals back here in just a moment. Because I had an unpaid ticket. Ah, there's no place to take cover.
He's done.
Yeah, a smidgen. So now let's hop into the build itself. Well, I should make mention there is one thing and drawback to this build, and here it is.
Dangerous thing.
The drawback right there. If you're not used to it, you're going to have to get used to it, and until you do, you might end up doing that quite a lot like I do, and that's blowing yourself up. But let's start off with the weapons first. Of course, we have the Harmony perfectly in sync. Hitting an enemy grants 20% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 20% weapon damage. Damage increases are doubled with both buffs are active at the same time, which is really easy to proc. The other alternative would be any weapon of your choice with the talent spike on it. Headshots grant 20% skill damage for 15 seconds. So that way you can pop them in the noggin, fall back down and cover, especially when you're shooting a sticky bomb. And so that way you have a lot more time in order to set it off. You can ding them, then shoot, blow them up, or hit them with it, stick them, then shoot them, and then blow them up in whatever sequence that you'd like. So in this situation, just any weapon of your choice with the talent spike on it, or like I said, you could go with the Harmony. The mechanical animal is out there is also as well, and then of course I use the pestilence. It's just a go-to to add a little bit extra, damage and ticks onto them. But you could actually mix and match. You could go with the Harmony here, and then go with whatever weapon of choice with spike talent on it in your secondary. But it's filler's choice, whatever your personal preference is. But let's start out with the build itself. Chest piece, I'm using explosive delivery. Whenever you throw a skill 1.5 seconds after landing, it creates an explosion damaging enemies within 5 meters. Damage scales with skill tier, dealing 25 to 100% damage of the concussion grenade. And my concussion grenade is doing 1.96 million, almost 1.97 million. Your typical concussion grenade is only doing like 1.4. So this is 1.96 million. So if you throw, like let's say you're using a seeker, like as I typically do, you can throw a seeker right into the middle of a herd, especially when you first go into whatever mission and you see them all huddled up, 3 or 4 of them, you can throw it right in the middle of them. They're going to initially take that 1.9 mil, and then you just lock onto the closest one, and with the blast radius, increase, then you just let the Seeker go off to the closest one, and it still kills the collective all together. So explosive delivery is a lot of fun and definitely comes in handy. I got a 10.6 skill haste mod slot in it. I went with skill damage, skill haste instead of that repair skills. I definitely would rather have skill haste here. RNG just hates me, so what can I say? But on all the pieces all together, I'm still missing out. As you can see, this only has 7.4 skill damage. I'm probably missing out on 12% skill damage, so it can be even stronger than what it currently already is. Now, for the bottom pieces, it's 2-piece Hannah, 10% skill haste, and another 10% skill damage. +1 skill tier, skill damage, and armor regen. Of course, I would want skill haste instead of the armor regen here in the second slot. And as you can see, I can go this route as well. This is a little bit better of a piece. Same amount of skill damage, but this has status effects, 8.9%, and that does come in handy if you're using things that create a status effect thereafter. Thus, like the one big boom Seeker, the pokey explosion. It creates bleed afterwards. The mortar turret creates bleed thereafter after you hit them. So definitely the status effects does come in handy, but ultimately I'd still rather have skill haste instead of the status effects. Now the second piece of Hannah, skill haste, skill damage, +1 skill tier. And then moving on, let's go to the Ymware backpack, +1 skill tier, skill haste, skill damage, another skill haste mod with energize. Using an armor kit grants +1 skill tier for 15 seconds. If already at skill tier 6, like we are, grants overcharge, which is really, really nice. The only downside is using an armor kit, and you're limited on them, but it does come in handy. But if you prefer other things like perfect shock and awe, something of that nature, by all means go for it. But at least one piece Ymware does give you skill damage. So if you want to go with the regular shock and awe on a Ymware piece, go for it. Now the other is 2 pieces of Grupo Sombra. 15% critical hit damage for 1, which is we're not critting, so that's useless, but we're more interested in the 2-piece bonus, which gives you 15% explosive damage. And on this piece, +1 skill tier, 10% skill damage, and 8.6% status effects. On the second piece, we have +1 skill tier, critical hit damage, which again, I rather have skill haste, but most of them come with a lot of reds on the Grupo. But so it's kind of hard to find the exact right piece, but at least I found one that had skill damage already on it, and I've been farming Grupo for days now, so I was able to change the red into a yellow Lego. So it is better than what it is, and I'm still missing out on a little bit of skill haste. Now let's go over the damage itself. Alright, this sticky with my mediocre mods in it is hitting for 5.42 mil, and PvP 1.194 mil, and then you got to throw on spike and then the energize of getting the overcharge, and the overcharge gives me an additional 20% damage and another 130% in blast radius. So that blast radius and damage does come in quite handy. Now the mortar turret damage is 3.481 mil, and still I have mediocre mods. So if you have better mods, then by all means yours is going to be more effective and more damage than what mine is. Bleed 58,863, PvP damage is 870,276, and the overcharge on it is another 47.5% damage, and of course the health goes up exponentially, and the mortar blast radius is another 25%, and then you go to +10 extra mortar ammo just for simply popping an armor kit. So you're going to take a little bit of damage anyways in whatever situation. So if you need to make a impact very quickly and your aim is on point, then you can easily pop an armor kit and then you get that overcharge. But now on to other skills, such as the Seeker, 4.353 mil, and PvP 783. The clusters almost right at 3 mil in damage, and PvP 538. And there's the overcharge values of those as well. Another 20% damage. So just with spike and overcharged alone is another 40% damage on top of it. Now, if you want to go with like the likes of the bombardier drone, then that damage would be 2.2 million per bomb, and if you have 9, so that's that's over almost 19, close to 20 million damage for just not dropping 9 bombs consistently over a group, and then PvP 598. So this is just a other different alternative to get more explosive damage and skill damage out of it without having to use the likes of BTS, U gloves, and of course 4-piece hardwired. Now here are my stats. None of the weapon damage actually matters. Got 63.8% skill haste. Sticky bomb cooldown is 19.3 seconds. And the 4-piece has a 20-second cooldown on the hardwired too for the regen part. So I got it close to that. The same around the 4-piece of hardwired with a 20-second cooldown. So this is 19.3. There's the damage. And all the talents that go with it, all the skill damage that's stacked on everything. Blast radius is 5.2 meters. And this is the turret, 11.8 seconds. Blast radius 6.8 meters. But let me know what you think or prefer. Do you prefer the 4-piece hardwired and maybe the BTSU gloves, or do you prefer something along this manner? So let me know that in the comment section below. And a good thing to note, as you can see, as far as when it comes to skill damage or anything of that nature, I'm only at 16, so 8% on my watch when it comes to skill damage. So if you have max of that, then you're going to be doing more damage. So you get a total of, what, 10% out of it. So I'm missing out on a good bit. Yeah, I'm missing out on 6.8, so another 6.8% on skill damage. So that would make it even more potent. So if you already have your watch maxed out, then you're going to be doing more damage. And of course, if you have maxed out skill damage on everything where I'm missing still like 12%, then that'll be at least another 18% minimal of more damage that you'll be doing than what you actually see on the screen and what I've been doing. So it is definitely potent. It's been a lot of fun, and a lot of times I keep blowing myself up. So it's just a big learning curve. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Appreciate all the love and support. Make sure you're subbed to the channel because there will be a 15K giveaway. I'm giving away, second place will be some Astro A10s, and first place will be Astro A40s. So just leave a like and a comment on this video, and you'll be entered to win it. And then once we hit 15K, which is not too far off, then that'll be given away. And I'll probably go with like a third place, maybe like a $50 gift card from like Amazon or something. So that way there'll be 3 chances to win 3 great prizes. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you fudging later.